The Trump administration will soon announce a tech export ban to 89 Chinese firms with military ties, according to a draft copy of a list seen by Reuters. Commercial Aircraft Corps of China Limited, COMAC, which is spearheading China's commercial aircraft industry and capable of competing with Boeing and Airbus, is on the list. So is Aviation Industry Corporation of China, AVIC, along with 10 of its related firms, Reuters said. The list was drafted by the U.S. Department of Commerce, which identifies Chinese and Russian companies considered military end users. U.S. suppliers must apply for a license to sell commercial products to them.
Commercial Aircraft Corporation of China is the manufacturer of C919 jets and is probably also preparing for a C929 project. The Chinese Communist regime has been touting these projects as a milestone in China's high-tech development. But in fact, it's also well known that most of the parts of COMAC's C919, from the engines to the electronic components to navigation equipment, these most critical parts are provided by American and European companies. The new US sanctions means China's major aircraft project may be immediately discontinued.
On November 12th, President Trump signed an executive order banning American investments into 31 Chinese companies designated by the U.S. Department of Defense as being linked to the Chinese military. The executive order, set to take effect on January 11th next year, named 31 Chinese companies, including mobile carriers China Telecoms, China Mobile, and surveillance equipment maker Hikvision. Li Hengqi, a scholar at the Institute of Information and Strategy in Washington, D.C., said that the Trump administration's tech export ban on 89 Chinese companies is a continuation of an established policy. He believes there will be more sanctions against the CCP in the future.
Why am I making such a prediction? More and more Americans have now realized that the Chinese Communist Party not only uses the Chinese market to obtain technologies, but is also cheating on many issues. For example, the CCP originally claimed that the South China Sea Islands will be used for non-military purposes. But later on, the CCP built 7 artificial islands and installed anti-ship cruise missiles and surface-to-air missiles on them. All these islands are now used for military purposes.
The U.S. presidential election has not concluded yet, and the Trump campaign has filed lawsuits against voter fraud. Frank Xie, a business professor at University of South Carolina Aiken, pointed out that the sanction list demonstrates the strong determination of the Trump administration.
The US government is actually continuing on its established policy path. The Trump administration is doing what should be done, that is, cracking down on the CCP. All potential Chinese companies, including military, civilian, dual-purpose companies that may be used by the CCP to steal military technology, will be blocked one by one.
In addition, senior Trump administration officials say they are pushing for new hardline measures against Beijing, the Wall Street Journal reported on November 24th. It's going to be an ambitious move. An informal alliance of Western countries will be formed to jointly counter Beijing when the CCP uses its trade power to coerce any of the member countries. Under the Joint Retaliation Plan, when China boycotts imports, allied nations would agree to purchase the goods or provide compensation. Alternatively, the allies may jointly agree to impose tariffs on China for the lost trade.